Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis. It's new comic book day. Yay! Or at least new comic book day for me. Just look at that. That stack. That's insane, right? So, if you watch this and you watch Comic Book Roundtable 2, I have now missed a record number of Comic Book Roundtables for me. I think this is 3. So almost an entire month of no Comic Book Roundtable. Same excuses as always. Work is crushing me right now. I'm pretty much exhausted all the time. I still have 6 books to read from last week. My beard looks crooked. I just woke up. Six books from last week, and some of the ones I read last week I did not care for, and I'm not sure if it's because I was falling asleep as I was reading them or otherwise. But hey, and we're not even in peak season yet. We're not even in the busy time of the year yet. So, but hopefully I have employees back and I am less busy then, and I can go back to having some level of normalcy. Can have a comic book roundtable, can talk about 25 books that I have to read, which is insane. But let's get into it, because I have things I need to do today. Sunday, my one day off. And really, it's not even a day off. I'm on call. Anyway, we'll start with this big giant thing here. This is the terrible Elizabeth Dunham against the Devils in Suit. I have no idea. I like the title. I didn't realize it was an oversized book. So it's, here's a backing board, right? So, right? Which, of course, is always annoying. I'm going to open this up because, hey, 25 books, this isn't going to be a fast one, I don't think. Because I always struggle to find bags, because this bag really isn't the greatest bag to put it in. But, okay, so back here it actually talks about the book, because you know what? I don't remember, because I'm that kind of tired. So, Elizabeth Dunham is a strong, rebellious girl determined to make her own way. Good thing, too, because her father long ago promised her to the devil, and he's come to claim what is his. Part horror adventure, part surreal dreamscape, this original graphic novel features amazing artwork from new Brazilian sensation Aberson Assis, A-S-S-I-S. It's a story that will haunt you long after you've turned the final page. Whew, it smells like a new book. There's this printing smell that a lot of image books have now. I don't know if it's the paper or the printing or what it is on it, but you know, this looks like this could be some fun. Like the oversizedness of it. So, yeah. I'll be checking that out, reading that, and seeing what that's like. I don't see any devils in it. Just thumbing through it real quick. Lots of people punching other people in the face, though. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to check that out and see what that is all about. Some stuff here so I can stack that up. Let's get into the rest of the comics. Alrighty. Tape. It is a bane. The real devil. Scotch tape. Let's try again. There we go. Infinite Dark, issue number 2. So I liked Infinite Dark number 1. Kind of sci-fi horror. I mean, it's supposed to be a horror and space book, which I guess it kind of is. It's Infinite Dark because this colony ship is the only thing to have escaped basically the annihilation of a universe. I haven't figured out exactly. I don't remember exactly if they tell us how they do that. Like they dip into this, into the edge of this black hole to escape the annihilation of the universe, or they travel outside of what would be the universe. But it's this giant colony ship that was supposed to house thousands and thousands of people. The people didn't make it. They fly in their ships to try and get to this point, or it was annihilated with the rest of the universe. So we have this colony ship, and there's large portions of it that are completely abandoned. They're ghost towns, which is kind of why you get this kind of creepy picture here. So they're wandering through this ghost town looking for a scientist, I believe, or a politician, engineer, something like that. I can't remember now. And they're trying to capture him because it seems like he's murdered somebody. This is like the first murder on the place. Crime in this place is fairly low. There just aren't that many people, and most crimes are little squabbles kind of things at most. But here's their first murder. They've chased this guy to this abandoned part of the thing. They've started seeing weird symbols. I don't know if they have recognized that there are weird symbols spray painted places or just us as the reader have, but let's see what happens. Has the deep recesses of space driven somebody crazy? Is there alien influence? Is this part of the destruction of the universe? Many questions. Friendo, issue number 2. I didn't really care that much for issue number 1. I love Simon's art. He is the artist on Punk Is Not Dead. I just really couldn't get into the story. Enough so when I ordered my comics late last night, I didn't order issue number 3 or 4, I think. Whatever the next issue was up for me to order. So I suppose if I read this and suddenly I'm really into it, then I'll have to hunt down the issue that I have dropped. Friendo basically is a story. Friendo's like an app. So you have like a virtual person. You put on these sunglasses and you have this virtual person that hangs out with you. And it's tailored to your preferences, kind of a thing. So this guy is walking around with Friendo helping him out. So, and his Friendo, I think, is somebody who looks exactly like him. So it's like his evil twin of sorts. Oh, Uther Knot, issue number 4? This book is so beautiful. The art in it is just gorgeous. Robles is just an amazing artist, and De La Cruz coloring it. There's the Death Head's moth, which typically would have a skull motif pattern on its back. Of course, in this you get the actual face, I believe, of our main character there. But the premise is afterlife is the great unknown, the one thing man has not really explored yet, and they're attempting to explore it in this, willingly and unwillingly. But the art is gorgeous, story is cool, but just such rich art. Man. And then we have Birthright, issue number 33. So it looks like we're teaching Brenna some stuff here. Brenna's the other brother of Mikey. It's coming to find out that Brenna has all this power, and Lore's evil sidekick sorcerer's daughter is going to potentially corrupt him and make him basically end up destroying Earth, along with the fantasy land that Mikey has escaped from. So, be interesting to see how that plays out. Brilliant book. One of those books, it's all about the art, if nothing else. The Brenson art with Lucas colors, just superb. Final issue, Plastic Man, which is fine by me. I have not enjoyed this. I think I skimmed read issue 5, possibly. I will probably sit down and attempt to read all of them all at once, but really just, I don't know, it's something more than what there was, and I just wasn't really that impressed with it. Hey, another graphic novel of sorts here. This is called 1 Week in the Library, and the authors are Maxwell Prince, John Moore, and Catherine Lano. This was a $10 cover price book, so I'm guessing a lot of people did not pick it up. Let me grab my invoice here. So, 40% off, so $6 for me. It is square bound. Ooh, its genre is literature. Welcome to the library. It's here that every story ever written is cataloged and monitored by a single man who's begun to notice something strange. The books are rebelling. Dive into the endless stack with the experimental graphic novella from writer W. Maxwell Prince and artist John Moore, which recounts the troublesome week in the library via 7 short stories, 1 for each day. that uses comics, infographics, prose, poetry to play with the graphic medium and explore the malevolent world of living narrative. So, yeah, 1 week in the library, and it looks like it starts out on a Thursday. Looks like I got some Pinocchio stuff going on here. Pinocchio-esque. Looks like we have a little bit of prose of some sort, and then some bear in the library. Yeah, savaging books. Get into Sunday. So yeah, it looks like this could be some fun. Some interesting stuff is going on in it, so we'll be checking that out. It sounded interesting when I read the solicits for it, so I thought, what the heck? Plus the fact, I think that's a Fraser Irving cover. And anytime I see a solicitation with a Fraser Irving cover, I tend to get sucked in. Starts out with a Kipling and a Shakespeare quote at the beginning of it. Yes, cover art by Fraser Irving. Yeah, so that always kind of suckers me in. That's interesting. Just looking at the copyright on the thing. Oh, okay. First printing December 2016. Copyrighted in 2016. So why am I getting it now? Did it just take that long to produce it? Or is this some different version of it? Maybe it is. Don't know. Don't know anything about it. They look cool. Anyway, 1975, issue number 3. I think this ends in just a couple issues. It's a short miniseries. Or maybe this is the end of it. I can't remember. It's been fun. The art is great in it. It's just kind of a wild romp of battling demons with a magical tire jack, lug wrench, tire iron. There we go. I'm tired. Can you tell? So that's not such an exciting cover, but the covers have all been wraparounds. Is this one a wraparound? Well, yes, it is. And it's got that weird acrylic book smell. Yeah. So yeah, been fun. So I know on Comic Book Roundtable, last Comic Book Roundtable, I believe I talked to Sleepy Reader about this book, and there was an advertisement for a Kung Fu Jesus book in the back of the book. Yeah, this is the final issue. In the back of the book, I was ordering my comics this week, and that book is like a graphic novel, and I'd already spent a ton of money, and I was thinking I'm never going to have time to read that, so I didn't order it. I may regret that, because it's still kind of tickling in the back of my head. Kung Fu Jesus, so. Oh, more taped together. I appreciate the security, but as I continue to mention, what is Scotch tape? The devil. The devil takes many forms, though, like digital comics. Weatherman, issue number 6. Yes, I love this comic. It is just great. This romp of. Did I say this is gonna be a quick video? Because we're at 13 minutes, and I'm not even close to be done. So a romp of basically your kind of Philip K. Dickian sci-fi theater where our main character has no idea that he's done this horrific thing. He has killed planet Earth, completely blew it up. Then was completely mind wiped, has no idea, and everybody wants him dead because of that. And he is being sold at an auction and tortured psychologically, potentially to death, as relatives that live on Mars, that had relatives that lived on Earth, are all paying the highest bid to destroy the man, while a super agent is trying to free him so she can then get the guy's original mind back, put it back in his body, and then potentially kill him too, because she has hard feelings about it too, or at least have him prosecuted to the full extent of the government. Of course, the government has been infiltrated by this Sword of Abraham or whatever they're calling themselves, this group that basically feels that man is a scourge on the universe, and if all men were dead, the universe would be a better place, and that's why they blew up Earth, was to start that process of eliminating all of humankind. So I have never understood a movement that literally wants to kill itself. So, but interesting book, and brilliant art by Nathan Fox, art and color by Dave Stewart and everyone else. Sleepless, issue number 9. I continue to really love the intrigue of this feudal courtroom drama kind of a thing. There's only, like I said, I say it every time I talk about the book, it was billed as a romance book. There's hints of that in there, but there's just lots of tension and intrigue in the whole who's trying to assassinate who has to get married to who, and all while our sleepless knight has fallen asleep, was released from his burdens of sleeping, fell asleep for a very long time, is now awake and trying to relearn his stuff so he can go about being a knight again. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Quite a bit. Fun book. Shadow Roads, issue number what? 3? 5. Wow. Okay. I've been enjoying this book. I love the world of the Six Gun, and this is just more of that that's dipped into that. So it's really good. I see Zamdo's art is good. It's a good characterization of the style of Brian Hurt, not the cartoonist that Brian Hurt is. But still very enjoyable. Feels like that world. Everything about it feels like that world, and I just really enjoy that. So every time this comes out, I am tickled to read it. I'm really wishing that Cullen Bunn, Brian Hurt's The Damned would show up more often too, but that has not been in solicitations for quite some time. And I think this is potentially ending too, which is a shame. I really feel like they could keep the Six Gun world alive for a very, very long time and tell all kinds of stories in it, because it's just a really cool world. For those people who don't know, it's basically, there is the supernatural, the stuff that goes bump in the night, along with the Old West. So you get gunslingers and hellspawn and interesting Native Americans and Thunderbird gods and just all kinds of stuff. And the fabled crossroad, the kind of devil that hangs at the crossroads, and you can make deals with to get what you need and stuff. Just all those kinds of elements to it, which are really cool. So next up we have Roma Sancera. This is issue 6. You can see the 6 back there, and the 6 on the scientist man that he's been constructing, this body, his head. This is the final issue of this. I don't know if the story makes any sort of sense. It's just this really fun, nonsensical art by Farrell Darple. That just is kind of fun comic for me. I just enjoy it, to have my other parts of my brain tickled by the kind of bizarrety that is his work, when it's just kind of free-thinking sketchbook story. I mean, there is a story there. There is actual story elements there. They're just intermixed with a bunch of other things and whatnot. Should have prepared before I got to this, because it's almost like they're trolling me with tape now. All right. What else we got? Too many comics. That's what we got. Dre Beach number 3. Super stoked for this. This is a super action-packed comic. It's largely what it's been. It's been action throughout the entire thing, and then you're kind of laced with details about the world, so you can understand where these people are at, what the situation is, and give us guesses as to what how they might get addressed and whatnot. Warren Ellis and Jason Howard driven book, largely driven by Jason Howard's artwork, which I think is just great. It's dynamic. It's super exciting. Fun stuff. Look forward to reading this. I know it will be a quick blast, but I have just been enjoying the heck out of it. And at issue 3, I would recommend you go and pick it up. And excuse me, my nose is running away from my face. There we go. Captain America, issue number 5. Ordered my comics, like I said, last night. I did not order this. I did not continue to pick this up. I'm dropping it. I'm sure Coates has something interesting to say with Captain America. I like some of the situations that are in the book. I find interesting. The art is fine most of the time. Occasionally, it has static elements to it. In some ways, it's written like really old school Captain America. Like it's reliant on these either Kirby or possibly Steranko amazing kind of fight scenes and splash pages, but they aren't carried off as well as those old ones are, and so the story kind of has weird pacing for those things and whatnot. I don't know if that's Coates, because it kind of felt like with Black Panther, that's why I ended up dropping it. It wasn't that it wasn't interesting, it just there was something about the way it moved, the way the comic moved. It wasn't enjoyable for me. And like I said, so I don't know if that's. I mean, part of me wants to say that's Coates because it feels symptomatic of all the books of his that I have tried for me. So yeah, so I'm gonna drop it. I mean, I'm interested to see what this issue is, but I'm just not enjoying it enough to keep remembering to purchase it. I guess I don't know. So are there other superhero comics I'm enjoying more? I guess so. Catwoman issue number 5. Live Free or Die. I've been enjoying Catwoman. This is a Jones and Allred issue, so it's all Jolie Jones artwork inside, which means it'll be amazing looking. Curious to see what's going to happen with her and this new kind of world that she's operating in. We occasionally still see the pains of the canceled marriage in her life and this criminal family that's laced amongst politics in this town, and how that's going to influence things, and what's her place in it, other than they don't want her in the town. And her sister is living in that town, and so she's going to hang out there because her sister's there. So what the conflict arises. Bitterroot issue number 1. This is by Walker, Brown, and Green. So it's by the crew that did the last, basically, Power Man, Iron Fist for Marvel. I like them as a team, so I'm curious to see what they are going to produce as an independent comic. Them doing their own thing. What's it going to be like and whatnot. I bet the art is going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. It looks really cool. I did not even read what the solicitations are going to be about, but clearly there's these 2 people here, and they're fighting monsters, and they have crazy gizmos and I don't know, maybe magic in there too. So yeah, I'm really excited to check this out and see what it's going to be like. Looks like it should be some fun. Wonder Woman issue number 58. G. Willow Wilson written Wonder Woman. I'm super excited to be jumping back into this. Super excited to be reading Wonder Woman again. Can't wait to check it out. She's busting up Nazis in this. What is she doing? A new war begins and an old foe returns. So, I don't know. A Dotson cover there, but I'm like I said, excited to be back on Wonder Woman. Look forward to seeing what it is that G. Willow Wilson might want to say using this character. So, yep. Red Hood and the Outlaws. I want to say this is my last issue because I had dropped it a while ago. I just haven't been enjoying it. So, him being Punisher-esque, not having any rules to follow. It doesn't matter who he beats up or whatever. It just has not been what I want to read. That's not what makes Red Hood interesting, I don't think. I mean, take him there for a while, I guess. I mean, you got to explore the character in some way, right? So I guess I shouldn't. But I've read a couple issues of it, and I'm not interested in the exploration. It's not being explored in a way that I'm enjoying. I did not like the setup. The setup felt hollow and phony. So yeah. Quantum Age issue number 4. I've been really enjoying this. This is one of the spin-offs of the Black Hammer world. This is set way in the future. This group of people is building a quasi putting back together a quasi version of the Legion of Superheroes. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I've been enjoying it, though. So, one more time into the breach with tape. I guess the 25 books, they wanted to make sure they're all taped together so they weren't floating around in the box any at all, which I appreciate. Ms. Marvel, issue number 36. I'm a bit concerned about this book because it wasn't in my solicitations. I did not see it when I ordered my comics this week. So, I don't know. Everybody kept asking me, so when G. Willow Wilson leaves Ms. Marvel, you going to keep reading it? And I'm like, is she? Like, still not seen officially that she is leaving, but I don't know. But anyway, I enjoy it. I enjoy Ms. Marvel. It's a fun book. The last arc just ended. They beat the Shocker, and her and Bruno are kind of, I don't know, maybe in a happy place to explore her powers and all that kind of stuff. So I will be curious to see how that plays out. Next up, we have the final issue of Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle number 12. Darkseid is. This is the Mitch Jards variant cover. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I've seen some people comment on Twitter, what little bit I've been on Twitter, questioning how this ends and what it all means. I look forward to reading it and interpreting it all for you. Because I've really enjoyed it all the way along, so I'm really curious to see what it all means at the end. I am a Tom King fan at the end of the day. I think he brings a different style, a potentially more literary take on comics and storytelling and stuff. I just read the last issue of Batman last night, and despite even being tired, I still really enjoyed it. So. Next up, we have House of Whispers, issue number 3. Of course, I love these covers. I love the idea. I love the art. Not exactly square on the story itself. It's like it hasn't found its own footing. It's hints of being something, but for me, hasn't quite grasped me yet. Of the stuff that's from the Sandman universe. Actually, all the other books have really hooked me harder. And I'm kind of surprised because I thought this one would be the one that would really hook me. Having to do with voodoo and some of that lore and whatnot, and some interesting characters and stuff. But it has just not quite. So I'm hoping 3 is the one that's gonna hook me. I'll keep getting it. I get these at 50% off, so clearly it's a thing. And I've been enjoying the rest of the Sandman universe, so maybe it'll all come together for me. Let's see, Gideon Falls, issue number 8. Another wonderful cover. There's a face there. There's still that one cover. I still do not get how there's a face in that cover. But anyway, looking forward to seeing where this goes. At this point, the dust has settled from the last whole crazy adventure. Now what's next? Well, the last issue ended with Norton and his doctor kind of being accosted by other medical people dragging Norton away. Is that person part of some evil conspiracy about the Black Barn, or is that just Norton's psychosis overlapping that sort of stuff? I guess we'll find out. Fantastic Four, issue number 3. The entire Fantastic Four family is here now. I don't know that I'm super excited about this book either, but I am keeping on my pull for a while because I just feel like it's at some point it's gonna say something. And it hasn't had structural issues, pacing issues, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna ride along for a while longer because I do like the idea of the Fantastic Four and what they could be. Curious to see about this. The family showing up, how that plays out. And when do we get off an adventure that actually has them all together just doing some Fantastic Four thing, whatever that is? Because right now it's still about bringing the Fantastic Four back from the brink of whatever. So it happened in the Marvel Universe when I wasn't reading it. And finally, it is Detective Comics, issue 992. This is another Robinson written one. Two-Face and Batman squaring off against Cobra. Yeah, no. We'll see. All right, that's 25 books. I am out of here because that means I've got 31 books to have read before next weekend, and I have no idea when I'll find time to do that unless I am reading them while eating my turkey. So whenever I see you next, I believe my next video is actually my 1000th video. In my head, I had planned that it would be some retrospective of Oddfellows Thoughts channel from its very beginning of me doing Not on the Pole videos back in the day and talking about the people who've influenced me here on YouTube and otherwise. But I don't know if the reality is if I'll actually get to that. But anyway, I need to be off. I've got chores, I've got comics, and I've got sleep.